Hello, all. I'm sort of wondering if I have to do this twice to make sure that the other thing started when it's supposed to. Whatever. Hey, it is your Labor Day weekend. Your 3 days, uh, 3 day weekend, right? Yeah. So we have been streaming for a minute and a half, and I'm already exhausted. Hey, William, good to see you. Uh, I hope everyone got some barbecue or some hot dogs, some classically American eats for a day like this, right? A day that commemorates the working man and woman of this country who struggled to build the railroads and build the mines and put men on the moon, and from doing calculations to crunch this math to delivering ice, right? Before ice was a thing that you could get out of your refrigerator Dora or whatever the heck they call it. Uh, it's the day for working. Now, it seems a little communist esque if you know the history of America and how paranoid it is about any group setting up for themselves who isn't millionaires, right? So you're already going to be slandered by wanting a fair day and not wanting to work, you know, 3 weeks without a day off, 12-hour shifts, not seeing your family, and doing all of that for what, $4, $4 an hour, and that be it's likely to be like $4 a week. But luckily, you have unions, and my whole thing is eventually everything gets corrupted. So now you got to worry about your unions. Perfect America, you don't need unions. Perfect America, things work like they're supposed to. You don't need special laws or special people because some stuff is being ridiculous and nonsensical. And to say that you're not for that, so you write yet another law that people ignore. No, 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 no. Perfect America, as perfect as we can get it right. Not there's no perfect country, right? But as perfect as we can get to perfect, you wouldn't need unions. People wouldn't be able to hang out in the workplace doing some of this vile things that they do there. That after they worked there for 10 years, it comes out that they were this kind of boss or that kind of coworker. You wouldn't need it. You wouldn't need it. You wouldn't need it. Y'all wouldn't need it. Today is the 6th. It is a Monday. We have done nothing. Uh, we ain't got the car washed. Um, dealt with the well, I don't want to say dealt with. Nature has a way of putting his finger in your eye. I looked through. Let's see. We want to keep this good. I looked through a lot of not looked through. I went through with fisticuffs a lot of these ants who would come to my window, and I could not figure out how they were getting in here. Um, and then I think I finally figured it out. So I totally nuked the whole window, the windowsill, the window pane, the windows, and everything. And so far, I've gotten a reprieve, but I've had a reprieve before for 2 days. You know what happens? This happens when the ground gets so saturated with water that the ant colonies kind of look for higher elevations. So they crawl up the brickwork and into the window. And one follows the other, follows the other, follows the other. And I probably missed the first 10, 15 scouts who came through, who may have found some cookie crumbs because sometimes I'm have a hero and a video game here, and then I come here and I have something while I watch this TV when I should be looking at that camera. I know. I'm sorry. You guys who've been here a while know that I look off. It's well, I look off. Yeah, but I'm not looking into your eyes, which I should be doing. I apologize. But instead of looking at the little camera, I look at the big TV, which I can see myself through this. See, I can see myself through that. That looks ridiculous, so I won't do it on stream. See? Eh, eh. Um, I'm feeling extra silly today. Uh, I've been burning sage all day, and my apartment has this musky smell of sage, but also this cloudy uh, film of almost like one of those beauty things that they will put in movies for some of these starlets and give them this kind of like 1930s glow. So you glance around the house, it's almost a milky white kind of thing. And I was like, man, this might be a little too much smoke in here. So we just we just cut that off. Uh, it was a good day. It was a good day. Started doing research on finger picking and doing all that stuff. So I'm just, good Lord, man. Michael K. Williams. Who is Michael K. Williams? I never watched The Wire. I don't like cop shows. I have a family member who is a military vet, and he doesn't like war movies. Right? He doesn't like anything with anybody in a military uniform because he did a million years in the military, and he's just kind of like, this is all bullshit. And I'm sort of have the same thing when I see cop shows. I'm just kind of like, I'm out. One of my biggest criticism when all this whole thing started with not Me Too, not Occupy Wall Street, with Michael Brown, right? And then George Floyd, right? I was saying, like, all these people in Hollywood, like, oh, this is tragic. We got to, I was like, shut up. All you ever do is make cop propaganda where the cop beats the fuck out of somebody. And if you watch, and people watch that as civilians, we're all civilians, but the military, but the fact that cops call you a civilian is fucking ridiculous because they're civilians too. The fact that I lost my stream, but you know so the idea that you keep showing people, especially Law and Order, the first 5 years, 10 years of Law and Order, that the lead actor cop guy was throwing people up against the wall, threatening them. You know, it's just kind of like, and now all of a sudden they calmed him down a lot. But he was the kind of cop that would get arrested in this environment. But they pushed it, right? They pushed this idea that violent cops without, that's the kind of cop that they portray who would like drop drugs on people and go, hey, he had a drugs and a gun and a this and a that, right? But you need the bad guy to be the hero. So this is what you have. So I don't like cop movies, cop shows. I never saw The Wire. All my homies love it. They talk about it. They quote it all the time. I know some of the characters. I was about to say Memphis Belle. That was a plane. It's gonna come back to me. Oh, him? Oh, the guy with the scar who was on Community. Michael Kenneth Williams was an American actor. He played Omar Little on HBO drama series The Wire. Yeah. See what happens? See what happens? Hollywood only makes drug addicts famous. Wow, that's so sad. Right? You work so hard to get up there, and I really do believe that people in that town control you by stringing you out on drugs. Hey, I know your secret. I'm your buddy, but I won't tell anybody. Yeah, but you're the one who also gave me all this shit that got, like, think about this. Ray Charles was a heroin addict. Ray Charles was completely blind since he was about 3 or 4, right? He went blind with 3 or 4. I want to say scarlet fever. We can look that up. The question then becomes, how did he get to be a heroin addict? Was he walking around with his stick on the street asking any random person who walked by? And he couldn't see who he was asking, right? Whether it was a cop or a librarian or a nun, where the heroin guy was. How did he become a heroin addict? Outrageous. Shame. This is 2 people today. All right. Tomorrow, if you come through, William, no more drug overdose stories. I think The Wire was a Baltimore show. Yeah. I was just talking about like cop shows in general and New York and not NYPD Blue. And he was sort of violent too. That guy on NYPD Blue was smacking people around Simplewitz or whatever, like utterly, completely disrespecting people and doing it on TV. And then somebody who watches it thinks you can do this. Not because anybody told them this, but it's been in their head forever from cop movies. Yeah. A lot of people don't think women can do a lot of shit because when they grew up, every woman in all the movies were running and falling down and need to be rescued. That sort of plays with your fucking mind. It really does. Uh, this is so sad. Michael K. Williams was a star when a no-name journalist from the Star Ledger asked to do a profile. He said, "Yes, give me ridiculous accents," and that answered every question, even the ones about his addiction. No ego, only class and graciousness. Can you have class and graciousness and be a drug addict? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I didn't know you had a drug problem, but that's sad. I mean, oh, that's not good. In his Brooklyn apartment. All right, well, what are you gonna what are you gonna say? And once you give him all the money in the world, here's the thing about heroin: you may be off it for a little. It's like quitting smoking, right? You may be off it for a little while, but you got to watch that 5 years. You can't slip back, or it's like you never did it. It really is. So you have to watch that 5 year mark and then that 10 year mark. You always have to, like we talked about yesterday. It's a thing you will battle forever. So why get on it? That's sad, but you know, who doesn't know that that trash is bad for you? Um, and then once you get on it at 17, 18, 19, you, like I said, you struggle with it forever. Oh, good Lord. Ugh, that's sad, but I don't want to sound cold, but I like to reserve my sympathy and my empathy, uh, and my enmity for people I think deserve it. I feel bad for him and his family that he died this way, that he lost a battle with his drug addiction, quite frankly. But all the money helped him kill himself, right? It's like you remember that movie with Justin Timberlake where they had the numbers on his arm, right? And he gave his friend who was a drug addict or drunk or something all this money, and he drank himself to death, or did you know what I mean? Because it's one thing to be a drug addict and only have a job and be barely getting through, and only have $200 leeway for drugs, right? Uh, I guess you manage it. But then it's a totally another thing to all of a sudden have a drug problem and then be flush with cash and then flush with enablers who, I mean, this is what killed Whitney Houston. You don't think anybody in her circle knew she had this issue? You know, here's the thing. You got to keep your cash cow alive, you idiots. So if I'm in your and what and I'm sure somebody tried to, not just for money, but just because I like you, Whitney. We Whitney, we go back a while ways. Your drug issue is X, and then she was like, "I don't tell me what to do," and blah 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 blah, and then she probably fired him, right? And everybody signs a non-disclosure agreement. I worked here, but if I say anything, you know, and they're always bullshit. Uh, I give you $100,000, but if you say anything, then you have to pay me $500,000. It's it's the man. Some of these contracts are written by the devil. I'm telling you, Satan himself will be proud of these contracts. The idea that you can sign a non-disclosure agreement and keep a rape secret is just beyond. It's just fucking doesn't make any sense. Okay, we're sorry, but what happened to you at work? Here's some money, and don't mention it. Divorces, right? It's like one of them was Jennifer Lopez's divorce, where he couldn't even talk about his marriage to her. It's his marriage too. He's not an employee, man. This society is really just it's becoming ridiculous, and there are people at the height of all this who keep it ridiculous because there's a lot of money in it. All right. So what are we doing today? We're gonna run through the news, but man, that's sad. Michael K. Williams. That's sad. 54. I mean, why? 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 Good Lord. People are so unhappy. They reach for all sorts of wild concoctions to continue their happiness. And it's usually drugs. People don't look, I'm a chatty guy, right? I like people, I like stupid jokes. I'm very social. I love to be social. I love to talk to everybody, anything. I've been at places where people just don't want me talking, right? I'm talking about in the hood. This fucking nigga, man, you always talk. Yeah, why do you care? Don't listen to me if I'm always talking. Some people are so happy with being miserable, it's their superpower, right? Other people don't know how to tell jokes, are gregarious, and don't want to be mean and aggressive, right? Uh, and they want what's the word I'm looking for? Sort of room to breathe. And I think a lot of people think that their room to breathe is drugs, right? I just want to get back and smoke a J, get back, have a whiskey, get back, have a joint, get back, have a I don't know what drug and heavy so what 8 ball a needle, I don't know what the whatever their slang term for whatever they're doing. And get me uh hit. Do they say hit? I don't know what they say. Get high. Everybody says get high. I just want to get high, right? Whatever your but my get high uh mode is always uh in the classic sense, right? In the classic sense by that is like the Indians smoked weed, they smoked in a pipe with each other. We know that it goes back forever. George Washington grew it on his farm, right? Um, that kind of stuff. So I figure uh, people discovered that. They discovered banging on the drums, right? Someone discovered plucking on their bow and arrow, maybe, right? All these things, sort of how art came about, maybe altered states a little bit, some mushrooms, but all this shit that you make in a laboratory is ridiculous. And there are I mean, some plants out in the world you can't touch until you do something to. And I think heroin is one of those plants. So it's not natural. You just can't pop a heroin plant, squeeze out the goo, and be fine if you touch it because it's super ridiculous there too. So please, people, don't get addicted to this stuff that will eat your life up. And you look, he was dead as soon as he used it. As soon as he used it and he liked it and he knew where he could get more of it, he was dead. And that may have started 20 years ago. Sad, man. It is sad, sad, sad. And as a poor black person with money troubles, uh, I look for the day that I could make enough money and then help my family, right? I got a bunch of nephews. I'd love to help pay off their college or maybe give a decent gift so they could. So I wouldn't give somebody a house or a car. I think that's a car is going to be out of date in 7 years, and your house is just for you. How can you help anybody with you know what I mean? I would help you try and start that business or get that college degree and hope that you pay back through the family down the line. That makes sense to me. Um, but all right, everybody, just calm down. Nobody panic. He's outside, that little bastard. All right, sorry about that. Uh, sorry about that. This goes there. When is sunset?
Sunset will be at 7:25 p.m. today.
7:25 p.m. sunset. All right. Um, I mean, what do you do? What do you do? I think the problem is people around him will go out and because he's not going to any place getting drugs for himself, right? Because people were like, "Oh, hey, you're my dude," and then take a picture with them, and then they'll expose them. I sold it to TMZ for money. Fuck you, right? Or they're just out and out rob. I know you got money. Well, how much? Then they'll just rob you, beat you up, and rob you. Find another guy. It happened to that famous actress, right? The famous model, Gia, right? Didn't she get robbed by her drug dealers after she was just a hot mess, staggered out her penthouse apartment, went down to Skid Row, got beat up and robbed for her money, got no drugs because. So now you've got all your handlers reap the benefits of you being drugged because maybe you were going to leave them and go to somebody else, go to an upmarket agency. Now they don't want you. Oh, you've got this drug, but don't worry, I got you. We've got it. And then all of a sudden, when you die, it's like, oh, nobody knows how this happened. Hollywood, excuse me, Hollywood has a giant drug problem and a giant sexual issue problem. And I would throw in a giant abusing children problem. Some of these young starlets, it's not just the starlets. Uh, I don't think they went to college, not college, high school. I know you're supposed to educate them on set, but I think it's more like rubber stamp, rubber stamp, rubber stamp, and then they get 80, and then they get into people like I told you who will protect them. Like I think Britney Spears, just my opinion, I think Britney Spears is one of these people. I don't think that girl could has ever don't know these people. She strikes me as someone who hasn't read a book, quite frankly, is what I was gonna say. But she doesn't strike me as intelligent. So just because you have a trained monkey worth millions of dollars, uh, shame on you for not making her an actual real person. Because she has kids, right? Does she have two boys? I don't know. It's sad. Um, Socks off. Oy. Socks off. All right. So, do we need more light? I think we need more light. The place looks lit, but from my angle, it looks dark. Uh, Heroin, and he got the part that broke his career open because he looked like a bad guy, right? He had the scar on his forehead, and then I think which really adds to look, Hollywood loves this type of shit. If someone in your family, not your family, someone in your community uh thinks you're unattractive, you should take that shit to Hollywood because the mole on Cindy Crawford's face set her apart from all the other pretty ladies, right? His scar set him apart from other mean guy actors, right? Uh, it makes you unique, and you stand out. And once people get used to seeing it, your ticket is written. If you've got large, expressive eyes, if you've got, but watch it for every cute one of you going to Hollywood on that bus. There's a million buses that roll up in that, not a million buses, but easily 50 buses that roll up with 100 beautiful people a day on it. Um, yeah, it attracts people who think that they've got it, which is fine. Uh, Go take a shot at it. Somebody's got to do it, right? But when people try and swing you into the drugs and the whoredom, oh, this is how we get down. You in California, we're totally special people here. You're like, yeah, I'll buy you into that. Then before you know it, you're just someone passed around at parties or drugged out, and wonder how you lost your way in that town. And that town is about getting naive people to lose their way. How many went to that town to be an actress and ended up in porn? Now they're porn actress, right? The thing about acting, guys, you can go out this fucking sucks after 5 or 10 years, and then go home to your town or whatever, or maybe write a book, or maybe write a screenplay, right, and stay in the town and swap to something else. But if you fall into the drugs, your swapping of this, that, the other thing just becomes sexual and drug addicts, and then the drug addicts and the money crazy people are always around the children. It's sad. Hold on. Oh boy, you know what? In red California, Trump lies about a rigged election echo among the most fervent supporters of recalling Governor Gavin Newsom. I mean, they blame everything on Trump. Man, I'm trying to figure out how they're going to blame this Afghanistan thing on Trump. I mean, this country is What's the word I'm looking for? I think this country is struggling. Um, you got a whole bunch of people and nobody trusts anybody, and that's a problem. That's a problem. So let's cut this on. Um, I'm sorry, I'm sitting here thinking. um, I'm wondering if I should. I burnt a lot of it, and it was this big, and then it burnt it out about that big, so then it was that big forever, and then like the last, I want to say 2 weeks, it's like this big, and I was like, I might as well just finish burning off the whole thing tonight and get a new one tomorrow. Um, Weird, crazy, spiritual me, right? I burn incense and sage in this house like it's my gig. Then I curse a lot, smoke a lot. No, I don't really smoke a lot. I gotta tell you, man, this whole thing has really got me wigged out. I'm doing a lot less smoking and drinking, but I'm wigged out. I'm wigged out by this whole COVID thing. As someone who likes to gather information, I'm telling you, I'm wigged out by it. Uh, if we follow, we don't even have to follow. We can look up. Did we even? We're not even going to check. We're going to assume that the restreamer is restreaming lovely, uh, which is awesome. It's an awesome restreamer. Don't get crazy. Come on. Um, but where let's let's look that up. So it was like it's 600, and the last time I looked it up seriously, I was on Facebook, and I'm not on Facebook anymore, and I put up 664 years ago the Black Plague came through. And that was, I want to say, 8 years ago, right? So uh, let's look up the Black Plague. This looking this up is in no way connected to any other plagues that you may know of, current or otherwise. Uh, Start date 1346, death 75 million to 200 million. That's kind of a really big kind of. Remember, it wiped out Europe, right? It made people able to leave their jobs as serfs. It ended serfdom, and you got to start your own business, run your own company because there were no people around. There was no people around. How did the Black Plague start? It started by rats. All right. Let's see. 1351. Let's do the math. 2021 minus. Stop it. 2021 minus 1351. 670 years. So yeah, 8 years ago. Uh yeah. Yeah. How long did it hang out? Bubonic plague, baby bubba. They called it the Black Death. Why? Look at this. Look, first of all, we're gonna swap this. This map is ridiculous. Approximately borders between the Principality of Kiev and the Golden Horde, passes prohibited by Christians. Land trade routes, maritime trade routes. All right, so I hate when this gets big but the picture gets smaller. You people suck. Really? You click on it and that's how small it gets? You people really do suck. All right. Here's the problem. One, you could get over here because this is really small, right? This jump right here is really good Lord, you're not even up. Come on, people. You could have said something. This is really small, right? a sailing boat. But man, when it hits your landmass, it just runs through the place. And Europe is one giant landmass. Um, Two really close ones, just you can walk from Africa into fucking Saudi Arabia. Uh, a quick boat trip over from Tunisia into fucking what's that little island, Sicily, right next to Italy, right? Yeah, it's no bueno, baby. Here, I mean, we're not connected to Europe or anything, but we're a giant landmass. We're connected to Canada, right? We're connected to all of South America from Mexico down through. Do I know my American uh, geography? El Salvador into like Brazil, right? Uh, 300 to 350 to 375 million. It reduced the world population from circa 475 million to 350 million the 40th century. So they're saying there were 475 million people then, and it dropped that down by 100 million people. There were further outbreaks throughout the late ages and other contributing factors. Here's the thing: we're not talking about any plagues in particular, but generally the way plagues work is, and we're not talking about this plague. We're just talking about the Black Death, which is a totally different plague. YouTube, I'm looking at you like to fucking demonetize people. Uh, the way plagues work is the most vulnerable to it fall first, right? And then it kind of like ticks up until you hit this group who are hardy enough to either not get it or survive it. I really do believe that there was stuff on the planet, right? This is my opinion, that people that killed a whole bunch of people, and all the people that it killed, and then it died out because everyone else became sort of immune to it. Um, I mean, there used to be seven people on the planet, seven people, seven races of humans on the planet, right? And now there's just one. There were, I want to say, four or five uh, species of rhino. Now there's three. I want to say there were three or four species of elephant. Now there's two, right? You've got your African elephant and your Indian elephant. You had Cro-Magnon and Denisovians, I think, and Homo erectus, and then Homo sapien, right? Homo erectus, Homo, and now there's just us homos, Homo sapiens. Um, so what happens when something comes through and just wipes out the planet? It's like the idea of zombies, right? What happens if a zombie bit you and you just got bit? You're like, oh, and you went home. People are like, oh my god, you got bit, but nothing happened to you. I mean, if this was a movie, the government would want to grab you and pull your spleen out and find a cure, right? Um, Skeletons in a mass grave from 1720 to 1721. Ooh, skeletons in a mass grave from 1720 to 1721 in Martigues near Marseille in southern France yielded molecular evidence of the Orientalis strain of the Yersinia pestis, the organism responsible for the bubonic plague. The second pandemic of the bubonic plague was active in Europe from 1347, the beginning of the Black Death, until 1750. 1347 until 1750. That is 400 years. Actually, it's not 400 years. It's 397 years. 347 to 750. Yeah. It's 300. No, hold on. It's not 397 years. 34. Yeah. 347. So it's 304 years. I'm sorry, not 394 years. It's 304 years. I mean, they play around in your environment. Not everybody. This is sad. Why have we as humans, look at the skull on this one. Why have we as humans gotten so used to seeing skeletons and all this macabre shit? It really is. And this is a mass grave. Dump them all in. Dump them all in. Nobody got time for that. Oh, look at that. 49. Oh, look at that. 50. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Look at this. 46. Nobody had it. 2 years later, 3 years later, 4 years later, 5 years later, 6 years later, 7 years later. Yeah. Wow. The heartbreak. All of England. Wait, how come Krakow didn't have it? It's just a giant open space here. What was going on here? Why why is this a haven? And wow. I want to remind you how cold Kiev and Moscow are in the winter, how cold Stockholm and Copenhagen is in the winter. So people telling you the winter will kill it. I want to also remind you how warm some of these places can be, like Rome and Barcelona, Marseille, and Pat, right? And the heat didn't kill it either. So yeah, we'll see what happens, baby. We will see what happens. Transmission, bubonic plague, people taking care of family members. They get it. Your elders, the children. There was nobody to bury people in your family. It is just an amazing thing. And now we're living through it. We're living through an event sort of like it. I mean, nowhere near the same numbers, thank God. Can you imagine if half of the people you knew passed away? I got to talk to a lawyer. Oh, all the lawyers are dying too. It's not just the poor, right? So now, who can handle the? Well, I'm just gonna squat here. What the cops aren't because there are no cops. No one's telling me to get out of this place that I'm squatting at. Oh my God, I like that girl, but I don't want to be anywhere near her. I don't want her breathing on me. I like that boy, but I don't know. I don't want the paranoia that sets in. Everybody becomes super religious and blames. Who are you going to blame for this? The homosexuals, the Moors, women, all the usual suspects. Other religions who aren't yours. So if you're a Christian, then it's the damn Muslims. And if you're a Muslim in Constantinople, then it's the damn Christians coming through the border with their diseases, right? It's always going to be someone that you can point your finger at. Excuse me. Point your finger at and say, "Hey, that dude is the bad dude who's responsible for the bad thing, and we, the good people, and especially if and there will be some grand opportunists who will use this to make an enemy if he doesn't already have one pointed out for you, right? It used to be the Jews all throughout Europe. So maybe the Jews brought the bubonic plague and got damn them, and they gotta, and then they chased the Jews out, right? So, and then when all the Jews are gone, they got to blame somebody else, right? Not everybody looks like me, so now I got to go. We're more Christian. Those people who look like me who are less Christian. It's always someone to blame for this kind of goofy craziness. What is the cause? Ticks on rats, right? Ticks on the most authoritative contemporary account is found in a report from the medical in Paris. It blamed the heavens in the form of conjunction. In astronomy, conjunction occurs when two astronomical objectives or spacecraft have either the same ascension or the same elliptical longitude. Wow, so they were blaming everybody. They blamed the stars, 3 planets out there. See, it's the planet's fault, man. Muslim religious scholars taught that the pandemic was a martyrdom and mercy from God, assuring the believers a place in paradise. Oh, don't worry about dying here. God's got you in the afterlife. Muslim religious scholars, for non-believers, it was a punishment. How dare you not believe in anything? So this is what you get. So, but here's the thing: the non-believers were dying, just like the religious, not people, but the religious scholars who was telling you what God wanted were dying too. So It was some Muslim doctors cautioned against trying to prevent or treat a disease sent by God. The arrogance of these people. How do you know God sent it? How do you know God didn't send it because you people were fucking up and it wasn't anybody else's fault but the religious heads of the place? You're never going to get that argument from anybody. Other adopted preventive measure and treatment for plague used by Europeans. These Muslim doctors also depended on the writing of ancient Greeks. So they even looked at history, not just prayer. They went to the ancient Greeks. Wow, man. I always thought like we're running around looking up pulling up like ice cores, and I always thought there's gonna be something that none of us who is alive now has an immunity to, and you're gonna dig it up and throw it out, and that's gonna be the thing. But yeah, this is good too. Alternative explanation, summary, transmission. The importance of hygiene was recognized only in the 19th century while the development of the germ theory of disease. Until then, streets were commonly filthy, with live animals of all sorts around and human parasites abounding. Human parasites are like ticks and fleas. And what do you get when you have like mites, not mites in your hair? When you have, they send you home and you have to shave your head. What is that? Uh, I mean, we never had it in school, but I've heard other people. Oh, excuse me. I've heard other people had it. Um, lice is what I'm talking about. So those things. Territorial origins. Where did it come from originally? Bam! Constantinople was the first big place. Istanbul, not Constantinople. So yeah, it obviously came by ship because it this place sits and then the island. So this tells me you went through this landmass and you took yeah, and then yeah. European outbreak. Could you imagine? I mean, an inguinal bulbo on the upper thigh of a person infected with bubonic plague, swollen lymph nodes, often occur in the neck, armpits, and groin region of the victim. Good lord, it's so bad. But it was around forever. One theory that has been the funds for Black Death, which hit Europe from 1348 and 1350, relative to the worldview of the people. It was here for a while. That's why I came here to look up how many people. 1347 to 1351. There's your pandemic. Uh, Afro Eurasia from 1346 to 1353. That's 6 years, 47 to 51. This is 4 years. So one's 4 years, one's 6 years. And I'm sure it'll work out. Uh, Whew, sorry. I never like to go and blow my nose. It's just so I just kind of sort of mute. But those who have been around know how we get down here. Uh, the Black Death, also known as the pestilence, the great mortality, or the plague. I've only heard of the Black Death and the plague. I haven't heard of this one, which is very biblical. The great mortality seems like scientists came up with that one. The Black Death. That is a lot of people. Ooh, that's not good. His fingers are dead. No blood is rushing through those things. Oh my God, that's so bad. Bring out your dead. plague in 1665. (1998). 1970 to 1998 regions where plague occurs in animals. So everybody reported it, but now we've got better ways to deal with it. No one reported the plague in Canada. I wonder why. What's the livestock like in Canada? I'm just curious. Wow. None in Australia. Australia didn't actually become a country until all right. Now I gotta look up the founding of Australia. I know the dude landed in 17. Australia. All right. Australian boy 3 rescued after 4 days lost in the bush. Lost your kid. All right. Australia stands by coal beyond 2030 after UN warned of economic havoc. They're fucking still on coal? Good lord. The fuck is going on over there? Get your shit together, Australia. Oh my god. See, that's the that British bullshit on your flag is why I look at Canada and Australia as British countries, British colonies, because they use. I mean, the Queen is on your money. Really? All right. So history, prehistory. We don't want to go back that far. Here we go. 1770, landed at Botany Bay in 1770. All right, I knew it was a little before us. Then when did they quote unquote get freedom? With the loss of American colonies in 1783, the British government sent a fleet of ships, the first fleet under command of Captain Arthur Phillips, to establish a new penal colony in New South Wales. A camp was set up, and I've been to Sydney Cove. Actually been here. Sydney is beautiful. Here's the problem with Sydney: the amount of fucking flies that attack you for walking around is fucking ridiculous. Uh, yeah, the flies are ridiculous. Ridiculous. Um, there's this famous hat. I just thought a comedian was wearing to be ridiculously funny, but it's got corks on it. Australia's a giant desert to begin with. Uh, but not for very much longer. David Hewley, Governor General of Australia. I guess he's the president, Prime Minister of Australia. So they don't have a president. They have a Governor General. Is an Australian former senior officer in the Australian Army who served as the 27th Governor General of Australia since 2009. He was previously the 30th Governor of New South Wales. All right. See, Australia is a federal parliamentary constitutional monarchy. They're a monarchy. The country has maintained a stable, liberal, democratic political system under its constitution, which is one of the world's oldest since federation in 1991. It's also one of the world's oldest federation in which power is divided between the federal and state territories. The Australian system of government combines elements derived from the political system of the United Kingdom, a fused executive. Fusion of power is a feature of some parliament forms of government where different branches of government are intermingled, typically the executive and the legislative. It is contrasted with the separation of powers found in presidential and semi-presidential forms of government. Constitutional monarchy. Hold on. A constitutional monarchy, parliamentary monarchy, or a democratic monarchy is a form of monarchy in which the monarch exercises authority in accordance with a written or unwritten constitution. Constitutional monarchy is different from absolute monarchies in that they are bound to Um, you got her and your fucking yeah. I don't know how your own government you are if she's on your money and you have her so closely associated with your country that you might as well be British. The federal government is separate in three branches. Wow, do you think the Minister of Foreign Affairs would get a bigger desk? Okay. Foreign relations, military. Look at those hats. Get on, you mate. Australia has one of the world's most highly urbanized populations, with the majority living in metropolitan cities on the coast, such as Gold Coast and Queensland. Christianity, Catholic, other Christian, Anglican, Islam, Buddhist, Hindu, Sikh. Yeah, 52% Christian. Culture. Actor playing the Bush Ranger, Ned Kelly. I know this story too. All right. A lot of fish in Australia. I gotta tell you. Actually went to a cricket match too. All right. What was I looking up Australia for? I was looking up Australia for their founding, but there is no separation because they never really separated. All right. So let's close that. Oh, let's stop looking at this. Oh, bring out your dead. It's a tragic occurrence, man. Um, let's close this. It's 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 a tragedy, right? Half of Europe gone in like 5 years. Um, you turn to your God, right? And then the people tell you that your God says you're a sinner and you got to fix your. Really, who's telling you that? The people who didn't see this coming in the first place. Ugh. Look, it's your weekend. Not your weekend. Well, it's your extended weekend. It's your weekend. Y'all don't hear those crickets? Not crickets. Those cicada. That's still here. Wow. Anywho, yeah, I'm really paranoid about this whole COVID thing. I'm explicitly paranoid about it. Oh man, did we miss it? When was sunset today?
Sunset was at 7:25 p.m. today.
5 minutes ago. When is sunset tomorrow?
Sunset tomorrow will be at 7:23 p.m.
2 minutes short, 7:23 p.m. Don't miss it, boys and girls. Woo! So what are we doing here? We are trying to get to the next level, right? What is the next level as we see it? Well, in my idea, the next level is not being stressed out by work or jobs or picking up an art or reading more, or doing the crossword puzzle more. As long as you don't give over your mind and your energy to these people who perpetually want you to worry, and then tell you that I can solve the problem for you, right? Once you just kind of go, oh, I can't do anything about these idiots and they're in power, fine. And then you'll keep your own counsel and go, I'm gonna vote for this guy, or I'm gonna vote for this guy, or I believe this guy, or I don't believe this guy. And then once you go, oh, that guy fooled me, right? I'm gonna get rid of him. That way you're not emotionally connected. Like the people still like some of these people who they shouldn't. Um, they've had sex scandals and they've been proven to be ridiculous, but you're just so, not you, but people are just so used to being uh emotionally connected to them that it's hard to let it go. And like I used to tell people, Bill Clinton is not your boyfriend. You can hate him. Don't browbeat me, right? Hillary Clinton is not your mom. You can. And it's always this kind of like, you don't understand it. What about? I'm like, look, don't tell me this guy is better when they've done the same bad shit. Um, and I'll tell you another thing. The whole thing about Donald Trump and all these women that people were always yelling about him. Oh, Donald, whoop, here we go. Oh, good Lord. Here you go. Good, sweet Jesus. There you go. Thank you. This whole thing about Donald Trump and these women sort of slowed down a lot because people like the Republicans were like, well, Bill Clinton and these women, right? So then they began to attack him on a totally different avenue, which makes sense. You can't sit here and go, hey, I don't like that True Armor guy because he's an arsonist. I like Bob. Meanwhile, Bob has pictures of him standing outside of like a burning building with a giant can with that says gasoline on it or some nonsense. It's am I gonna have to slide over here more? I'm gonna have to slide over here more. And yeah, so it doesn't make any sense to me. Tilt, 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 tilt. That was a lot of tilt, but all right, that's good. So yeah, if they're like, I don't like him because he steals candy from babies. We like Jim, and then Jim is over there by strollers just snatching lollipops out of kids' mouths. You don't seem to have any credibility of a moral argument, right? Who's that guy? I can't remember him. But they're all bad. You need somebody. I need somebody who will fix my problem. Because several things are not going to happen. You're not going to make me hate anybody. I tell people all the time. This is why whenever I talk about Black issues, and I do it a lot here, it's not fully about Black issues, but I would say 10 shows, you're going to hear some Blackness on at least half of those shows. Usually the other half of the shows are just common, simple fairness. Don't treat people badly. Like, why are you a bully? Right? Why are you a racist? Why are you a piece of shit? Don't be a piece of shit. And here's the thing. If you're trying to be a noble dudes run in packs. And that's hard. It's hard to get a bunch of noble dudes together. Bad dudes run in packs too. But the bad dudes know that they're going to be bad dudes. And there's no code to being a bad dude, right? What's the code to being a bad dude? Don't hit women. There's a ton of videos of dudes smacking women around on the internet. And don't get me wrong, I'm not one of these guys who are like, don't hit women for no reason ever. Because like I said, women can kill you just as dead as a man can. But hitting women is such a rare thing that the average man won't have to run across it. After he's 10, right? You may fight with girls when you're a little boy. But after you're 10, it's almost never necessary. Never necessary. I give you a good chance. Here's how if a good reason for you to hit a woman. You come in the door and she's coming at you with a knife. Do you hit her? No, because you can likely kick her feet out from under her or kick her across the room, right? Because our twitch muscles are faster, right? You sock her in the face with, yeah, but she's, you can throw something at her, but a lot of ladies can't really catch. So I lobbed a kitchen chair at her, throw her whole game off. When? Does she have a gun? If you can get close to her and she's got a gun, yeah, you can clean her clock with a good right hook. Yeah, because the bullets kill you dead, right? And I generally, if I see a woman coming at me with a knife, I'm, even at this advanced age, I think I can, not even, I don't want to say 9 times out of 10, that sounds good, but I'm going to go seven times out of 10, I can fend her off. What are you doing? Put the kitchen chair between me and her. What the fuck are you doing, crazy person? Right? I can throw stuff at her constantly. Pens, papers, lighters. Well, it's super rare that you have fucking hit a woman. Super duper rare. But if they're coming at you with and that's a knife. Right? You can toss books. Yeah. I've told you guys about the woman who stabbed the husband out of just kind of like, and got him good. But then, yeah, guns is what you worry about with women, right? And I've seen women get hit. I've seen women from Hollywood go, "Oh, my husband beat me." There's a little scuff, like that Amber Heard thing. I was like, he didn't hit you. Where's the anger in that little scuff you got? It all struck me as kind of like, I need you to be on my side. It's kind of like, I mean, like I told you on this chat, I used to work downstairs from the Brooklyn Task Force Sex Crimes Unit. And I don't want to be like, I know what, but I used to see women walk in there who were definitely mistreated. And I saw other women who walked in there with their girlfriends laughing and smoking a cigarette outside. And I was like, they don't seem stressed by the drama at all. And we all deal with our drama differently. I mean, she could have been burying it nicely, right? But I mean, you're not a dummy. You as a human being sees things and goes, that don't check out with me, or oh my god, that is horrendous, or I wonder what I think about that, right? I mean, it's how you get down. You as a thinking person just don't believe everything someone tells you, especially if you're intelligent. I'm assuming everyone listening is intelligent. You don't believe what people just common what people tell you and expect you to take that at face value. You go, huh, really? That doesn't make any sense, right? Or, oh, I guess that makes sense, but right? Or, wow, that's an incredible story. Even if it is a lie, we love the story of it. So, yeah, there's a lot of things where people play word games and reshuffle the deck on you in mid game to get you to buy what they're selling you. Because at the end of the day, what happens is they stay in these positions that they covet. So there are 400 jobs, 436 jobs, 437 with the presidency and the vice presidency, right? 438 jobs that are tier one primary, like American gigs. And those are the elected jobs, right? And of those, 9 of them are lifetime super gigs at the top level, which is the fucking Supreme Court, which you should not be able to. I mean, we've moved past them staying there forever. My whole position is 13 years is good. 13 is a sacred number in America, right? 13 colonies. 13 is good. You don't need to be there forever. You don't. And if you don't like 13, okay, I'll go 20, right? But you don't need to be there forever. You don't need to be there forever. Being arrogant and stupid and unarrestable. I mean, look, we as the American tribe, I like to call us the American tribe because I think about tribes. We of the American stripe, right? We're not all the same people. Everyone in Chinese is Chinese, right? Everyone in Saudi Arabia is Saudi Arabia. Even everyone in Britain don't get along, and they're all on the same 3 North Atlantic islands, right? Wales, Ireland, Wales, Ireland, Scotland, and England proper, right? We have to get along on a philosophy and a principle. Otherwise, I mean, I wonder, is America just really Europe West? Are we a suburb in Tel Aviv for Israelis, or are we some small shire in England? Because sometimes I really don't know what the fuck we are, right? It don't make any sense. Some of the ways that we vote and what people say here. We're supposed to be about democracy and all this. And a lot of our allies are dictators and kings and all this stuff that is supposed to go against what we as the American people are supposed to be. So since we're all Jewish and Catholic and Protestant and Methodist and all these other things and Muslim, and then on top of that, we're all from all over the place, places in Europe, places in South America, I was about to say places in the north, but only Canada is above us. So places from Canada, people come here. We all have to agree. All right, well, we're not all going to be Christians. We're not going to be. Some people come from places where women can't even vote, right? So they have to step up their game to be American. Why does all these Europeans come here and don't have to do any of that? And quite frankly, between you, me, and the wallpaper, if my American dream is to be an actor, and it isn't, I'm super mad that all these British people are here in slots that I could have had. Right? They keep making stupid people from Twitter and all this stuff famous. And then you say how great we are. What about making some of these war veterans famous? Some of those guys are 20. I mean, does anybody know who what is his name? He was the most decorated soldier of World War II, and he became a movie star. Oh my God. And he was a short dude too. And I was like, that is the one of the best American stories ever. And you know what? I know one of the name of his movies. I'll look it up. The Navatin. The Nava. Right? No, that's Randolph Scott. All right, hold on. Maybe it's the Texican. Texican. Yes, it's the Texican. Audie Murphy, not Eddie, Audie. So here we go. Let's first of all, yes, make this motherfucker a movie star. Let me flip this. Because I mean, humble beginnings. Not only is this guy, let me get rid of me. Not only is this guy, this image, look at him covered in, God bless him. You know what I mean? Why not people like him? Don't tell me after fucking 20 years in Afghanistan, can't find any. But say you're gonna make a, I don't want to call her a prostitute. That's wrong. I don't know what she was, but you're gonna put fucking the stripper rapper in movies so she can talk more shit about how important she is. The fuck out of here. So we as a nation, we don't really stand for anything. You want to read something about Audie? Audie. I was like, Eddie? No, Audie. What is Audie? What kind of name is Audie? Versus Eddie Murphy, the comedian. Was an American soldier and actor, songwriter, and rancher. He was one of the most decorated American combat soldiers of World War II. He received every military combat award for valor available from the U.S. Army. I'm going to read that shit again. He received every military combat award for valor available from the U.S. Army, as well as the French and Belgian awards for heroism. Murphy received the Medal of Honor for valor that he demonstrated at the age of 19 for single-handedly holding off a company. All right, first of all, we're going to look up how many people are in a fucking company, because I used to know it. I think it's about 150. A company. One dude holding off a company of people. I mean, I have a thing about the flag and the country and the founders, not the Civil War or any of the world wars. I play a lot of war wars, but the founding is like my wheelhouse. And I find people, they don't give a fuck about anything, and I think it's because we in America. Oh, hold on, this is NATO. We in America, well, we can use NATO, use Army explain squads. We in America are not one cohesive group, or we wouldn't have any of this ridiculous, violent nonsense. A corps, a division, a brigade, a battalion, a company, 3 to 4 platoons, 200 soldiers, right? 3 to 4, a company is 3 to 4 platoons. A squad is 6 to 10. A platoon is 18 to 50 soldiers, 3 to 4 squads, right? So he held off. This is actually a pretty good graph I might want to hold on to. You know what? We are gonna duplicate this and put it right over here. Hold it. Wait, did I even do that right? Yeah, I did do it right. All right. Here I am. Okay, it's there. All right, so I just wanted to cop because that's just good information. So let's go back. Let's close. Look, the water all over the place. Let's go back. He at 19 single-handedly held off a company of German soldiers for an hour in France, June 4-5, then leading a successful counterattack while wounded and out of ammunition. So not only did he hold off 200 guys looking to kill him and his cohorts, these other soldiers, he then launched a fucking counterattack while he was wounded with no ammunition. What? Yes, make this motherfucker a fucking movie star. Please do it yesterday. I mean, he's passed away in 71, but come on. Meanwhile, who do you have is all these ghetto rappers telling you how they sold drugs, and not only do they make rap music and make money doing that, you stick them in Hollywood. It's just kind of like, oh, what do we stand for as a country? Seriously. Sharecroppers, which is essentially white, super poor, destitute white people. They weren't just black people picking cotton. I mean, poordom is in America is a fucking racket again. And then they tell the poor white people, your problem is the black people. You know, I mean, people on the bottom. Audie Murphy photographed in 1948 wearing the U.S. Army khaki Class A tropical service uniform with full-size medals. Yeah. Like I tell people all the time, this, as a military dude, this is your resume. Other dudes who know it can take a glance at what's on your uniform and get it. And it's the same uniform as the new guys get. Brand new, nothing but their name tag on it, right? Until I guess they become privates, and then I guess they get their not the division where they're serving, like battalion, tank, or whatever. They get that insignia. But when you're brand new and they're like, you're out of basic training, your uniform is naked for I guess about 2 months before you. Well, not 2 months, but like probably get something on it, like probably as soon as you get your placement. But I mean, this guy is who you want to make movie stars out of. After attacking Pearl Harbor, Murphy's older sister helped him falsify documents about his birthday in order to meet the minimum age requirement for enlisting in the Army. He lied to get in. Turned down an issue for being underweight by the Army, Navy, and the Marine Corps. He eventually was able to enlist in the Army. He first saw action in 43 Allied invasion. I mean, he was not a big dude. Look at all the, I mean, come on. Allied landing in Sicily. Yeah. Medal of Honor, Distinguished Service Cross, Silver Medal, Legion of Merit, the Bronze Star, the Purple Heart, Army Good Conduct Medal, Distinguished Unit Citation, American Campaign Medal, the European Africa Medal, Eastern, that's the theater he was in, World War II Victory Medal, Army of Occupation Medal, French Legion of Honor, French Croix de Guerre, French Croix de Guerre with 3 palms, with a Silver Star 3 palms, French, yeah, because he saved them over there. That's one thing I like about, like, the other nation can give someone not from their army an award for doing some great shit. I think that's just fucking balling out awesome. Yeah, I mean, but this is the kind of guy you make a fucking hero. You stick in movies. Film career. How many movies did he do? Murphy and the Red Badge of Courage. Murphy and the Red Badge of Courage. Throughout an acting career spanning from 1948 to 69, that's 20 years, Murphy made more than 40 film features and 1 television series. When acting producer James Cagney saw this 16 July 1945 issue of Life magazine depicting Murphy as the most decorated soldier, he brought him to Hollywood. Cagney and his brother William signed him as a contract player for their production company, gave him training in acting, voice, and dance. They never cast Murphy in a movie, and a personal disagreement ended the association in 47. Murphy later worked with acting coach Ethel Hartman and honed his dictation by reciting dialogue from William Shakespeare and William Sawyer. The dude was fucking tenacious. I heard a story about how he quit drinking. He locked himself in a hotel in Beverly Hills for like a week and then never drank again. I mean, that's just fucking, I mean, I think he had a serious amount of mental fortitude to going into this shit. Oh, we have been streaming for an hour and 15 minutes. Murphy, excuse me, was married to accident and divorced. Murphy quarter horses. Yeah, death in commemoration. He was arrested in Bourbon, charged with battery and assault with intent to commit murder in a dispute with a dog trainer. He was accused of firing a shot at the man, which he denied. Murphy was cleared of the charges. Yeah, I mean, these are dudes who make heroes. So what are we doing here? I guess, are we sliding out? I think, are we going to end this thing right now? We're 10 minutes to 8. We could do that. Remember, please like and subscribe. We stream every day live like this, some stuff. We wander where the conversation takes us. It's 10 to 8 here on the East Coast. It's the 6th of July. Good Lord. It's the 6th of September. Summer is coming to an end. When is the first day of fall? The first day of fall is, I want to say, October 21st. No, it's September. Hold it. I think it's September 21st, because the first day of winter is December 21st, and they're separated by 3 months apiece. So I could just ask my phone, when's the first day of fall? Wednesday, September 22nd, and December 21st. Yes, first day of winter is the 21st of December. First day of fall is in 22nd is in 3 weeks. Actually, 2 weeks and 3 days. September 11th is this coming Saturday. So let's discuss that. I don't know if I will be here. I probably will try and be here because I want to keep my streak alive, but I don't ever do anything on. I'm gonna actually wear the same shirt on September 11th. I don't actually do anything on September 11th. I don't watch TV because they keep repeating that same horrible newscast. Like, everybody talks about it, and I don't think it's the TV people. I other than the traumatized people, I think the TV people use it for ratings and, oh shucks, and this is horrible, and tells your story. And like, I don't want to hear any more stories about it. I'm tired. Really am. I'm brokenhearted about it. I fucking still freaked out about it. I wish I was braver. That Audie Murphy thing. Yeah, I wish I was braver. But, we're all who we are, right? Brave as you need to be in the scenario given you. I don't know how brave I can be on September 11th. It still bothers me. So maybe I'll make it a music show. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll make it a music show. But September 11th is this coming Saturday. It will be the 20th anniversary. And yeah. Yeah. Are we going to continue? We'll continue for the next 5 minutes. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, we are here every day for the next 1,000 days. The times may change, but so far we changed it 3 times, I think. I should keep a log about this. From September 1st, oh, good Lord, from September 1st, from 6:30 p.m. every day, Monday, that's not every day, 6:30 p.m. Let's try this all over. We're here every day, 6:30 p.m., Monday through Saturday. And on Sunday, we're here at 7:30 a.m. for Sunday service. And that counts for Christian, Judaism, and Islam. So come on, dude. We talk about the world and trying to find our own path among this, and hopefully look out for other people who are on their own path. Maybe you can walk some of that path together before you split up. But who knows? Maybe you're going to the exact same place. Uh, but yeah, it counts as church. Uh, it counts as that's well. It doesn't really have a. I call it Sunday service, but that's not what we call it. Uh, we'll call it something, but I call it Sunday service. Just to get up early, have some coffee together, and sort of prime ourselves for the new week, right? And it's just if you like this whole segment, please come through. Because we try not to be fake about anything. And like William said, William put this up an hour ago. I hope he's still in the chat with us. Michael K. Williams died. We looked at some of these people. 3 people died at a house party in California yesterday from heroin and Oxycontin. And one of them was a comedian. Two of them was comedians, a lady, beauty queen comedian, and a dude, and another person who they haven't admitted. But yeah, dude, heroin is, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. You want to get addicted to something? Get addicted to loving one person for all time. How about that? Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Woo. This is what you need as you go forward in life, right? Because I think it's going to get worse. You got to carve out a place for you to enjoy you. And that, I mean that mentally, right? What if you like to read books or play games? You have to do some of that to eat away the stress. Because I'm telling you, we here in the West, Western society especially, we're not very active. I mean, I'm a pudgy fat bastard, and I used to be active. Now I have to re-get active. But every time I stand up, I hear something go crunch, and I'm like, oh, there you go, right? It's the muscles not being the joints rather not being as well lubricated and so this is why you're supposed to stay on it. You don't have to do it when you're 20. You're a prime rocket in your 20s, but you do have to do it in your I wouldn't say your 30s, but I would say your mid 40s upwards, and I'm over in my mid 40s. um but if you want to be an extra awesome individual, do it now. Well, you're now. Like if you're a young person, you don't have to get big like The Rock, but you should just maintain, fitness. Because what's good about it is the blood rushing through your veins and that energy of it. You want to turn up your like boiling water. You want your body to like kind of like see what it can do occasionally, and that's you know you can't do that once a year because then you'll blow stuff out, blow your knee out, blow your back out. I haven't run in a while, fell downstairs. So you test yourself weekly. No, not really test yourself. You train weekly, and then you test yourself every quarter. So if you're running, then at the end of the quarter, do a 3K. Yeah. What do they call it? A 3K? No, it's not. It's a 5K. A 3K is a mile and a half. Do a 5K is 3 miles, right? Come on, man. You can run 3 fucking miles in your sleep. What's wrong with you? The human body is made to walk and run. If you cannot walk and run, it's likely because of an infirmity or an ailment, right? But if you don't have either one of those, the human animal has been running and chasing shit across landscapes for all of our history. It's like telling birds they can't fly. That sounds ridiculous. And I hate to disrespect any ostriches who may be out here. But yeah. So please like and subscribe. We do this daily. And I said September, but likely by October, we're gonna put a system in here where you can holler back at your boy. Hopefully. Right. We are streaming on YouTube. Oh, nope. And we're streaming on, oh boy, really? Huh. We're streaming on YouTube and we're streaming YouTube is True S Armor and we're streaming on Twitch as Karma Armor. So please like and subscribe, guys. It helps the channel. It helps my confidence. It makes me feel like I am 10 feet tall and twice as smart. Uh, and that's just good for your ego. We all need a little of that. Even though I know that I'm just regular old everyday me. Uh, please come back tomorrow. Like and subscribe, and come back tomorrow. We'll have a totally different show talking about the way the world works. I have to get another gaming chair. That's why I haven't gamed because that chair is dead. I have to get another one because it sits exactly, not exactly, can't say that. But if this is my gaming setup, it sits too low. So I have to game like this. So now I got to throw that out this weekend and buy another one. But that's what it is, man. It is what it is. So we want to do more gaming, but this chair is excellent for painting and sitting here talking to you right now, but not so much for gaming. Really not for gaming. Excellent for talking. I don't know if that's thunder in the distance or fireworks. I think it's thunder in the distance. Um, so yeah, we will see you tomorrow at 6:30. Remember, we're gonna start this guitar up thing up again. Well, man, I'm yeah. It's been a week, a little more than a week since we played, and we've been playing every day since September since June. But I'm really having like a bad sort of run of luck right now in my personal life, and I don't want to lie. Look, this is why I tell you what I think personally. I told my friend this. He was like, maybe you should lay off the politics. I was like, if people like me, I want them to like me. I want them to like my quirky stupidness and blah, blah, blah. And I'll tell you what I think. Um, and some will stick around, and those are the ones that I want to stop it. Those are the ones I want to stick around. Because I feel bad that if I'm sitting here trying to get people to like me on stream by being fake, and then you have a leaked tape of me saying the stuff that I tell you now. I mean, it won't be. I don't talk hateful about anybody. Like some people I just don't like, and I just don't get why people like them, and I'll question that, and I'll tell you why I don't like them, and that's fine. Not everybody likes everything, but that's different than like I don't want to be the guy going, oh, I love so and so, oh, she's great, her new album is this, da da da, and then there's the link of me going, oh, I hate her, I can't da da da. Yeah, that's just that weighs on me as I don't want to be a liar. I would look. I've got issues with all sorts of things and people. I wish they were better explained to me. I wish I had a group of people here who knew some of this stuff, so then we can trade ideas on it. But people don't like to follow the rules, and the rules the rules are simple. Don't need to insult anybody. Don't need to be hateful or evil to or at anything or anyone. Just tell me what you think, right? And stop long enough for me to hit you with questions because I will. Uh, people discuss things very differently, and people don't like the way I discuss them. They think I'm rude and I'm interrupting. But if you say something squirrely, I don't want to let it coast. I want to actually stop you right there, and just give me a quick explanation of it before you continue on, right? So I look at it like this: you'll take me somewhere, and I'll stop you going, "Where are we going?" Right? And you go, "Oh, we're going to the market." So anyway, okay. But you go, "Don't stop interrupting me." Right? So I'm like, no, if you're taking me on this journey with you, I got a question or two. You know, a lot of the recent podcasts I've been in, they don't do it that way, which is fine. But you let people talk and say dumb shit, and you don't ever challenge it, right? I get frustrated when I'm challenged too much because nobody's really listening to the whole thing. They're just trying to like chop you up into little pieces. Ooh, look, I've got 1,000 things to say, and like so, you got to watch those people too. If you let people interrupt your conversation, make sure that it's going somewhere, and make sure that it doesn't take off on another channel. That's a whole different conversation. We're right here. We're locking it down. We're about to solve something. Don't get off in the whataboutisms and all this other stuff, right? So all these things are why my show is weird like this. There are very few guests ever on. I want to have my friend Pietro on, but I don't really know how to interview people. So maybe I just have him on to talk. I don't want us to tell old stories, or you don't want our old stories. So yeah, that is it. We are here every day, 6:30 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Saturday is supposed to be the guitar show, but that's fine. Monday through Saturday. Sunday is service where we just talk about the week and set you up for the new one, and do some hopeful, wishful thinking for you, me, and the rest of us who come here talk about social and current events. That is it for us. Let's cut this off. Whoop, whoop, oh, that's not good. We will see you all tomorrow. 6:30. Tomorrow is Monday. Oh, tomorrow's Monday. Tomorrow is Tuesday. I got something to do Tuesday. I'm not looking forward to this. The next month and a half is going to be a shit show for me. At the minimum, next month and a half. It is what it is, right? When life give you lemons, curse life. That's what you do. All right, so we will see you tomorrow, 6:30. Have a good night. Enjoy the remainder of your Monday. And I will see you in the next one. Peace out.